Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Ailey. Happy 2019. I think this is my first video after New Year, but I really hope that you all had a really good festive season, and I kind of fell off a little bit on my videos, but we're back. We are back on it, back to 3 days a week, and yeah, don't mind this situation. I am actually going to watch this after this video, but I just wanted to get this video done because I had such an unproductive day today, so I wanted to pull it together at the end of the day. It's like 7:45 at night just now, but we're going to do this and I'm actually quite excited. So I've been hearing people talk about Flower Beauty for weeks now, or even months, and this is Drew Barrymore's brand, and we couldn't actually get it here in the UK. So when I just found out that Superdrug are now stocking it, well, I say it, they're stocking some products, then I thought that I'm just going to have to pick up a few little bits and give it a try. I'm not seeing, I don't know if they do any eyeshadow palettes, I couldn't see any anyway, but I have some base stuff to try, and yeah, we're just going to do that today. So if you're in the UK and you're thinking about picking this up, then this video is for you. I have the Flower Supernova Celestial Skin Elixir, I have the foundation, which I hope is going to match me because I had to do it online, I have the concealer, which I've heard really good things about, and I've got the Lift and Sculpt Contouring Palette here. So yeah, we're just going to try these out. I am just going to kind of fire on in because I don't want this video to last forever, but I'm going to fire on with the Supernova Celestial Skin Elixir. This looks really nice. I'll put on the screen how much everything cost, and obviously I'll link it in the description box below as well. But this is sort of a nice base for your foundation. I think that you can just use it as kind of skincare as well, but if you look at it, it's sort of all purpley, and I think the name Celestial is the perfect name for it just because that's what it looks like. It's sort of got kind of a glitteriness to it, and it just smells like kind of natural oil. So I'm just going to do a few drops of that. I've just seen that Drew Barrymore filmed with Jamie Genevieve, and I've obviously watched that video, so there's a couple of wee kind of tips and tricks that she was saying on that about like some of these products. She does apply her foundation with her hands, which is something that I just cannot do, but it's so funny watching her do it because it's like me in high school. It's like rubbing it all on and just smearing it on my face. I'm gonna give that a minute just to settle in. It feels quite oily, but nice oily. If you've got dry skin, I think you'll like it. If you've got oily skin, I'm not so sure, but I really like the kind of oily feeling. I like oily primers. I like the Revolution Pro Prime Oil. That's one of my favourite primers. As you can see, it lasts a long time, but I am going to do quite a lot of it. The smell is actually very similar. Yeah, that one's, the Revolution Oil isn't as scented, but this basically says, apply to a clean face before moisturiser and add to your foundation to boost makeup results and extend wear. Use alone for a naturally brighter complexion. Oh, okay, so you can actually add it to your foundation. I don't think I'm going to do that today, but I will do that in a later video just because I want to see how the foundation performs. I don't want to add anything to it and risk changing how it wears. Okay, so I've used that as my primer and I've let it sort of settle in a little bit. So now we're going to go in with the foundation. I got the shade Natural Beige M1. And it basically says it's a luminous makeup nude skin feel all day wear. It's got SPF 18, not that that matters in this country. But yeah, let's see. I do quite like the packaging. I mean, it is quite pretty. It's a glass bottle. It's got this kind of really nice, is it like rose gold? Yeah, I'd say like rose gold coppery sort of design on it. And it's got a pump, which is always good. And I really don't know how much of this I'm going to need, so I'm just going to wing it. I've got like a little bit on the back of my hand. Okay, the foundation shade isn't a complete disaster. Could have applied half of this, or like half of my face of this with a brush, but you kind of know by now, if you've watched my channel in the past, how I feel about brushes. So at this point I would say it's pretty pointless. It's very It's very rare that I find a foundation that I like to apply with a brush, and usually they're more lightweight foundations. This isn't crazy heavy or anything like that, but it's not kind of one of these more BB style foundations by any means. Okay, so it's got a reasonable coverage. I mean, it's evened out my skin tone completely. It's really luminous. If you look at it, it just leaves such a luminous finish that I really like about it. It feels nice and lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It's oxidized maybe just a little bit, but nothing that's concerning me, so I'm quite happy with that just now. So I'm going to take the concealer next, and this is the Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. We will see. It's got like a kind of little doe foot applicator. And just going to do that. Maybe should have got this a wee bit darker, but that's what happens when you have to shop online. Okay, that blends out really, really easily. So let's try under the eyes now. To get into the inner corners, I just take my little brush and do the kind of mutant face. Okay, I'm not really mad at that. I quite like it. It's not full coverage as I thought it would be, but then I haven't set it yet. So I'm taking my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Powder because it is one of my all-time favourites, and I know that it does a really good job, so I know it won't ruin this or anything. It doesn't look horrible, but it's not the kind of, it's not my favourite, but it is a first impression, so that could change. It's not massively full coverage, but I never really like to cover up this little sort of sunspot or whatever it is. But I don't hate it. So far that is becoming the kind of general consensus with this so far, is I don't hate it. I really like this so far, but I think that I would actually use another primer as well. I wouldn't just use that. I'd use that more as skincare, I think. So the last thing that I have is the contour palette, and this has a bronzery sort of shade, a blush shade, and a highlighter shade. The blush shade slightly terrifies me, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to give it a try. So I'm going to dip into the bronzer shade, which I do quite like the look of. It is a little bit powdery. There's a little bit of sort of kick up on it when you put your brush in the pan, but nothing too crazy. The pans are big enough so that you can get your brush in without kind of going into too many different things. You know, you're not accidentally dipping into the blush when you're trying to get the bronzer, or vice versa. And this is quite a big bronzer brush, so. Okay, I really like that. I've been looking for a good bronzer for when I'm a little bit more pale, and that shade is such a nice shade. It just kind of, it doesn't look like you've put it on, it just sort of blended into the foundation and almost made the foundation look like it had a natural bronze to it, if that makes any sense. That gets a thumbs up from me. So, okay, so I'm taking my JH06 brush because I always go crazy ham on my blush, and this helps kind of combat that. Now, if you can see that, I just literally tapped it in and it picked up so much product. I hate that in a blush. So I'm going to get rid of most of that off there. Maybe. Okay, it's actually not too bad, but you do, I mean, even just kind of tapping in, you get loads and loads of product on it. It's insane. So that's it kind of tapped off. Okay, baby pinky colours aren't really my colour. They aren't really my thing. But it's not bad. It's not a colour I would have chosen. I would have preferred to see a more neutral blush because not everybody's going to be able to use this tone. But it's still nice. There's nothing really wrong with it. So we're going to go into the highlighter now. Okay. Okay. I did not see that coming. Oh, okay. I mean, it just... I need to blend it out a little bit. Hold on. Wow. I mean, look at that. I really hope that translates on camera. It literally makes my lip look like it's gone. That is such a beautiful formula. It just, there is zero chunkiness. It is literally just glow. And that's probably, that and the bronzer are my favourite things in this palette. And I like it's got on the back, I didn't realise that these were made in Canada as well, but it's got on the back like a full how-to on how to use it and everything, and it's even got like a little, I think that that's a little bit intense, that right there, but it just kind of shows you a little bit of how to use the palette, which I think is really cool. I think that's what her brand's about as well. She wants to make it like easy for people to use makeup. So yeah, okay, that is it. So I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup and I'll come back and I'll let you know my final thoughts on everything once everything is settled and all the rest of my makeup's on. So I will be right back. Okay, so that is the rest of my makeup done, and I'm just kind of looking at how everything looks. I added a little bit more highlighter just because I was leaning on my face and I got like a little bit of fallout from my eyeshadow and stuff like that. If I'm looking down here, it's because I have a mirror so I can see what I'm talking about. But I like this foundation. I don't know, it looks really nice on the skin. I mean, it's grabbed my forehead line here a little bit, but like less than most of my other foundations. I have severe dry skin between my eyebrows and just on my forehead here, and it's kind of covered it quite nicely. It's sitting on it, it's not grabbing it and accentuating it too much, and the shade is really nice. It's not kind of a crazy shade or anything. No, I really like this foundation. Obviously, I love this stuff. I mean, anything that has got kind of like a hydrating property, as long as it doesn't break me out, I will continue to use this. I do really like it. I think, though, I'll use it more as it's directed, use it underneath my moisturiser to give me a kind of more of a boost of hydration and a little bit of dewiness, and then I'll use my normal primers on top of that. But I really like everything, I think. I mean, I'm a little bit on the fence about the concealer. It may be because I'm preferring using a darker shade just now. I'm preferring using like a shade that's closer to my skin tone and not quite so brightening, because I think it's a little bit more forgiving underneath the eyes. Maybe I went a little bit too ham and used a little bit too much, so maybe scaling back and using a little bit less would work, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. So last but not least is the kind of contour highlight palette. This I really like. I'm not a massive fan of the blush, but it's more for the shade than anything else. I love the highlighter and I love the bronzer in here. So I can imagine that I'm going to be using this a lot. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you want to try it, it's pretty reasonably priced. It's not crazy. I think that the foundation's like £12 or something like that. So they're not mad expensive, but they're not as cheap as, say, like Revolution or something like that. So yeah, you can head on over to your local Superdrug or you can get it online. As I said, I will link everything down in the description box for you so you can just go over and see exactly what I bought. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I will update the description box if anything changes, but no, I am thoroughly impressed. I think that is pretty much it. So if you enjoyed this video, obviously I would love if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!